Good evening. Good evening. How you guys doing out there? This is Mike back with In the Spotlight Podcast, episode 22. I got a very, very special guest out here tonight, all the way from Orlando, Florida in the building, baby. My longtime friend, Kenny Gillion, man. A brother that knew me before Basketball Spotlight even existed, man. Kid, thanks for coming on tonight, brother.
Hey, I appreciate the invitation. Blessed to be here. I'm looking forward to the night.
Man, this brother, we got a long history. We knew each other for years. I from the beginning of team breakdown and before Basketball Spotlight even started when I was with Metro Hoops, man. And this is gonna be fun going down memory lane, talking about some different things, man. And we're gonna get started very soon. Now, first, I want to pay tribute to my brother, man. As a lot of people know, the basketball community lost a great one, man. On Monday, Brian B.K. Coleman, man. Coleman was assistant coach at St. Anthony's. Then he started the legendary Sports U, Team IZA AAU program, and sent tons of kids to Division I and tons of kids to the NBA and overseas, man. And most important was this real good dude, man. One of my closest friends in this game, especially when I started to transition out. You know, once you start to transition out, a lot of the phone calls you used to get and all that stuff ain't happening no more because people don't have use for you. Man, this brother, man, me and him still talked all the time. He talked to me through alcoholism, recovery, everything, man. We used to talk every day, man. I'm gonna miss my boy, man, and we just have a moment of silence for him for a second, man. Thanks, bro. And I pulled up one of these videos I saw of him, man, that emphasized his passion for coaching, man. And it's a beautiful joint, man. His passion was serious, bro.
These guys ain't nothing. Let's go. Go strong to the rim. Don't fade away. Go strong and get done. You got me? Let's go. These guys ain't nothing. Let's go.
You know from my boy, man.
Go strong to the rim. Don't fade away. Go strong and get done. You got me? Let's go. These guys ain't nothing. Let's go. Go strong.
Yeah, man. It's sad when we lose a good one like that, man. And can you understand in this game, everybody ain't good. So when you get that good brother, man, that you know really love the kids and really do it for the kids, man, that one hit me hard, bro. That one hit me hard, man.
Nah, that's true, man. It's very few people that genuinely care about the kids, genuinely have a passion for doing it. And when you have somebody like that, it stand out. You know what I'm saying? It stand out. Their personality is so magnetic, and the kids draw to them. And you just be thinking about how many kids, how many adults, how many people's lives they just to change just being them. And it hurts everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
It's one of those things that just it hurt. But he was able to leave us with a lot of memories, change a lot of things. But we just got to go ahead and carry on the torch when you have just people that's like that. And he definitely was a true. No candy coating it, not like true soldier gonna tell it like it is.
It did, man. B man, rest in peace, man. So Ken, let's get at it, brother. First of all, I gotta personally thank y'all, man, because I remember when I saw you at what we was talking about offline and stuff. I saw you at that spot or whatever, and we was chilling, man. And I was just starting up Basketball Spotlight, man. And y'all had the uniform stuff going on too then. And y'all sent me some uniforms, bro. This helped me a lot, bro. And that was the first showcase I ever did. It was the Elite 80 Expo. And y'all sent them joints. Because you talk to some people a lot, and people will tell you, like, yo, man, I got you. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But soon as I made the phone call, y'all asked for the address, boom, 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 and didn't charge me nothing. It was mad uniforms, bro. All I had to do was go get them printed. And I had my first set of joints for the Elite Basketball Spotlight Elite 80 Expo. And I never take anything like that for granted, bro, because y'all didn't have to do that. You get what I'm saying, man? And I just wanted to say I remember that helped start me, because I'm leaving Metro Hoops. I don't know what I'm about to do. And the crazy part is I had just left Metro Hoops before that trip. And I never forget, I was sitting on the couch and my boy was like, "What you gonna do?" I said, "Man, I'm gonna probably start this other company, but I'm about to just take this trip overseas and I'll figure everything out when I get back." And that was the trip when I came over there and I was talking to y'all and I told y'all what I wanted to do. And then it wasn't no hesitation, bro. Y'all sent the uniforms over and it was on from there, man. So tell your brothers, and I wanted to personally thank you, man, because y'all helped me start my start my dream, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, no doubt. That's easy, man. Whenever we see somebody going ahead and trying to grind, we're doing all we can do, because the door is for us to get in the game. It wasn't easy. So we see somebody that's trying to grind, we all there to try to help them any way we can. You know.
All right, let's get started, brother, because this night is about you. Speaking of the door for y'all to get in the game, take us from the beginning, man. How did this thing start, man? How did everything come together, bro?
You know what, man? Like, I'll take you all the way back to the very start, man. I'm sitting inside of our dorm room. It was me, my older brother Brian, my other roommate Al Boatwright. You know, at that time, Slam Magazine was the thing. So we going through every time the Slam Magazine come out, we going ahead and checking it out. And you know, we looking at Slam. It was like, dang, man, there'll never be anybody in here from Florida. It's like Florida just do not get any love. Then we would, you know, just look at all type of different stuff, and there was never anything from Florida at all. So at that time, we was like, man, you know what? Let's just go ahead and start our own website. Easy to go ahead and get into, no big deal. Let's just start our own website where we just talking about players inside of Florida. So, you know, we reached out to one of the dudes that was at Florida State about building a website. He was like, cool, I'll do it for free. We put the website up, you know what I'm saying? And then with the website, we was like, we want to always give people a chance to voice their opinion. So we had a message board where you can come in there and say whatever you want. So our first thing we put up like some stories, some local guys that we know, put up some rankings, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and it was crazy. It took off like wildfire. I mean, like everybody was like, "Hey, I gotta go see who's ranked, who the top freshman, who the top sophomore."
Love that.
So, you know, in the state of Florida's pretty big. So you got all the way from Miami to the people up in Tallahassee. From Miami to Tallahassee is like a 6-hour, you know, drive. But at that time, if you stayed in Miami, you only knew about the players of Miami. You didn't know about the players of like Orlando, 3 hours away, Tallahassee. But when you went to breakdown, you can press a button and see who all was inside of the state of Florida that was good. So that came, man, the kids was loving it. But we got a lot of hate from the coaches. Why my kid not there? Who are these guys at that time? And I'm 18 years old. My brother's 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? My roommate, 19. So you got 18, 19, and 20, where every kid was loving it. Now the coach is hating. They don't know nothing about basketball, blah, 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 blah. At first, when they just looking at it, they was like, it was cool. So, but when they seen us, not only did they start saying, you know, the youth, but those racial lines start coming in there too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so, you know, we was like, hey, you know what? One thing about Breakdown, we just going to keep it real no matter what. We just going to say what we really feel. We don't believe in all of these other stuff. What we see, that's what we're going to write about. That's what we started doing. It blossomed. It went from a website to a print edition of the magazine to a television show. And as we was getting content for the magazine, television show, we would go out to different tournaments. We go to different tournaments to write about people. We was like, man, they keep putting together these whack Florida teams and they losing. We was like, man, we could just go out and put together some guys that we just know locally, and at least they'll play hard. So we was like, man, you know what? let's just go ahead and get the team. At least we'll get some exposure. That's how Team Breakdown started. You know, Team Breakdown was just the local guys that we knew we gonna play our style because you know I come from a basketball family, 7 brothers. We go to the park, play pickup, and we drive and kick, picking up full court the whole time. So our Team Breakdown team drive, kick, pick it up full court, and you know we was doing good. And then, but what took our stuff to another level? I remember it was a 2004 New York Gauchos team that had where they had Russell Ramon. Was it Ramon Sunday out of games? It was another guard. Ramon Sunday out of games was, I forget, it was another one. But we played them, and they had all 5 guards, and they ran through us. And we said, you know what? That's going to be our new style. When Team Breakdown play, we want everybody on the floor that can handle the ball as a guard. And that's when everything just took off from us. So, you know, it started off in the dorm room, and it just took off. And we was like, we ain't never stopping. We're going to go ahead and keep doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? That was our thing.
You had 7 brothers, and who gave y'all this entrepreneur spirit? Was it passed down from generation? Because y'all some business dudes, and y'all get at it. Like it just be like how did where did that come from?
I definitely it came from my dad, man. You know, we grew up. Everybody's like 1 year apart. So my dad had my brother when he was 17. My mom was 15 years old. So my oldest brother Brian came to parents that was 15 and 17. Then 2 years later, I was there, and then it kept going. You know what I'm saying? So by the time my mom, I'll say, was probably about 25, my dad was the only one that was working. So he would go and work. My mom stayed home. She, you know, taking care of stuff inside of the house. And so my dad was always in one of those things. Listen, you never want to.
Whoa. Oh, God. Hold on. I can't hear you. 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 Hold up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Else for anything except for the family.
Or go back
so,
a little bit.
That just got us motivated that, hey, we had to have our own. And even in basketball, you know, some people wanted to be the next Michael Jordan. Shoot, we wanted to be the owner. Like, who the owner of the team? We always wanted to be the decision makers when it came down to it. But that just comes from, you know, my pops, man. My pops was always like, hey,
man.
Be a leader. Be a leader.
So your
and
dad,
the best way to be a leader if you control the wealth, especially for your family. So it's all about the entrepreneurship and like that from when I was small.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm losing connection. Can you hear me?
Thank you. I can't hear you.
Check your go out and come back in because I'm losing connection. Hello, can you hear me now?
Mike, I don't know if you're on mute.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not on mute. I can't. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Check your things over there.
I can't hear anything that you're saying.
Yeah, check your what's the name? Check your connection.
I can't hear you. I think you probably got it on mute.
No, I'm not on mute because I can hear you.
I can't hear.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I said I can't hear anything that you're saying.
Put I'll call you on the phone. Go out and come back in. Check your phone. 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 Check your phone.
Oh, okay. Let me see here.
Hold on, guys. We're gonna try to get this technical difficulty fixed. He was doing good, man. It's the only thing about when you do lives, this type of stuff happens, man. You know what I mean? It's part of it. It's the gift and the curse when you're dealing with live internet stuff, man. Are we gonna try it again? You there?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So now, how did you guys? You send me how you got it. How did you guys end up getting a sneaker deal and stuff?
Well, you know what? At first, when like the first 2 or 3 years, man, we were just grinding it out. Just we made our own uniforms and everything like that.
I remember that.
And then, we was like, man, we gotta get some type of sneaker deal. So I forget who we called up, and I just know that my brother Brent ended up getting a call from Sonny Vaccaro. He was talking to, and Sonny Vaccaro hit my brother up, and he was like, "Listen, I don't got a lot of time, to be honest with you." He said, "You got about 5 minutes. Tell me why I should offer you guys a deal." Hey, so Brad, like, hey, but Brad is the one who work out all the deals and everything like that. So he was like kind of stuck. He was like, well, our team is good and we do this and we do that. And Sonny was like, so that's the reason. Then Brad's like, forget it. Let me tell you that. He said, this is what we'll do. He said, man, look, my team is going to be really, really good. We're going to have a lot of the top players. I don't even want you to do anything with us right now. He said, but hey, just keep us in mind at the end of the summer in July, we're going to come back and we're going to have another conversation. And then Sonny was like, you know what, man, I respect that, man. You guys are young. You know what I'm saying? Y'all young when it come down to it. He was like, but you know what? This is what I do, man. I've been trying to go ahead and get into Florida high school sports. So Florida high school teams. And he was like, man, if you're able to get in, like he used to do something with the coach of Miami High. He said, I did something with them, but everything kind of stopped. But if there was any way I can go ahead and get back in with them, then maybe we can talk. Brian was like, hey, check this out. In 24 hours, I have you a deal. I have Miami High coming to you and accepting whatever deal that you have. Sonny Vaccaro was like, hey, if you're able to do that, then we can. I know y'all mean business. So it was like, okay, cool. So I think, Sonny hung up the phone like young guys just talking, blah, 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 blah. So Brian was really good. And, down in Miami, he was like the young dude inside of Miami, man. You got to be able to roll with the Cubans, Puerto Ricans, the Hey, Brian was the adopted Latino, man. So he get down there, he's moving and shaking, man. He put in some calls and he ended up talking to the people. He talked to Edwin Rios' dad, whose son was at Miami High at that particular time. And so Brand was like, man, look, man, I think we can work it out. We can go ahead and get Miami High a deal. And so, Edwin Rios' dad knew the coach and everything. He said, sounds good. We got Sonny Vaccaro on the phone. Sonny pitched Miami High being Reebok. And he didn't think that they would actually accept it because they had been with Nike and everything like that. Miami High was like, cool, we all in on the Reebok. So now Miami High, Reebok, you had Edwin Rios as a top player, but the guy that they really liked was Dwayne Collins, who was a 6'8" beast. And so now he was like, okay, these guys mean business. And Brent was like, still, remember what I said? I ain't going to really go into the specifics of what breakdown want into July. I want you to see how we work. And then Sonny was like, okay, you know what? I'll bring these guys up to the ABCD camp. And when he brought them up to the ABCD camp, he said, at that time, I can see what y'all really got, what's really going on.
That's dope,
Hey, only thing we needed was a foot in the door because at the end of the day, we like, man, look, we young, man, so we calling everybody corny. Man, these corny guys, man. These guys don't know how to play. Young guys.
All right, we about to get there to ABCD. Let's talk about Rios first, man. How was it when y'all got him? Because he was kind of like a folk hero down there, bro.
Man, like this, and he went in just with like with the shoe deal. He was like kind of our first star. Basically, at the time, Edwin Rios was playing with the Miami Tropics. Art Alvarez, Pauline team. But on that team, man, they had about 4 high major guards. Eddie Rios was an 8th grader. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, 8th going to the 9th, then 9th grade. Their guards was Dennis Clemente, played at University of Miami. David Hortes played at the University of Florida. Jose Sueto played at Florida State. Rios was just like, he wasn't a star. We seen Eddie because we happened to scrimmage against a team. And as a freshman, he was giving it to our 17 on the team. I was like, yo, my man is good. So we go to Edwin Rios. We was like, hey, man, come and play for Team Breakdown. It don't make any sense for you just to be one of the guards on the Miami Tropics. And you had a lot of respect for Art Alvarez. But it was like, man, we think you can come in and be like our main guy. And Eddie was already like really confident. Like, shoot, I feel like I'm better than everybody on the team. In reality, was he better? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Those other guys, they was all 3 high major guys. And so he was like, man, I don't got nothing to lose. I'll go to Breakdown as a 9th grader. I'll be the featured point guard on the 17 and under team. Worst case scenario, if I ain't doing good, I could just be a 9th grader playing up 17 and under. But
he did his thing. I got a short joint from him now. Like, he was doing this thing, bro. I had his joint. I was looking at his joint. Like, I remember back then he was like a folk hero, bro. I'm like, yo, this dude, everybody running on the court and everything. It was like, it was crazy, man.
Edwin Rios came in and kicked down the door. Like, he was a killer.
That's good.
It was like,
before he had fans, before he was a prospect, he was here, playing his father at a Miami playground with nobody watching. This is where Rios learned the game.
I started playing him one-on-ones and getting him involved with me and me becoming more a part of his life. You know, what better person than your parents to teach you the game?
I think I hit like 75 points in one game. After that, my dad just got amazed with me and he started working with me. And he put the balls in my hand and he started, dribbling and stuff. So I think I was 13.
After Rios' freshman year of high school, the colleges came calling.
Duke, talked about the school, I think last year. I had NC State, Louisville, Syracuse, Florida.
Rios decided he wanted to spend his college years close to home and the fans that support him, making a verbal commitment to Miami.
I know some players that are there, and just the community, the mayor, a lot of people support me here, and they're behind me. And for me to leave, like, just slapping them across the face.
We feel it's significant. Being, it's a history.
So
basically, they treat me like, they like sort of like praise me. I don't mind. I like it. It's good. It's a good feeling.
I'm trying to find that part of the game when he was
Florida,
crazy,
where he led the Stingers to a state championship. He's a ferocious competitor who took up basketball just 3 years ago and quickly evolved into a seemingly indefensible scorer.
One of the first things that we make sure that each kid understands is that Edwin Rios is our prime scorer. He scored 27 points in one quarter to take us to the state championship game. The basketball players are treated like gods.
Bro, that's crazy.
Basically,
man, look,
they like sort of like.
I like,
that
and
was
this
crazy,
how Eddie was.
Yo.
Man, we got Eddie in April of his freshman year. So freshman year over, right?
Mm-hmm.
He go out to the Bob Gibbons all tournament. Remember, he a 9th grader playing up 17 and under. But everything started when we got out to Vegas in July. So we get out to Vegas. The big guy I was telling you about, Dwayne Collins,
I remember him.
Dwayne Collins couldn't go. Other kid on our team who was our best player, Jermaine Taylor, played in the NBA a couple of years. At one point led NCAA in scoring. He got hurt. So now we going out to Vegas with six people. Our 6th man is Kenny Boynton, who's in the 7th grade. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, we about to go to Las Vegas big time. I ain't talking about the watered down Vegas that it is right now. I'm talking about Vegas, super pool, top guys there. It was loaded. I'm going to go through his run because this when Eddie took off. We get there. So as we get on the plane, I'm stressed. No lie. Eddie look at me and be like, Coach, as a freshman, what you worried about? I'm here. I was like, whoa. No lie. This not me exaggerating the story. He say, Coach, what you worried about? I'm here. So we in the Super Bowl, the Super Pool. Remember, Brand already told Sonny Vaccaro, check us out in July. Sonny like, okay. First game we played, I think it was like the LA Swordfish or something like that, man. They was loaded, man. They beat us. First game out, they beat us. We got the orange and black uniforms on. Next game, that was the first time we got the pink and black team breakdown uniforms.
I remember them joints.
We was like, man, we lost the first game. Let's just go ahead and playing these pink and black uniforms. Worst case scenario, if we playing bad, at least everybody will know who that team is. First team, boys team to ever be in pink. Next game, we come out, we play Jared Bayless. We play Jared Bayless, bam, we knock off Jared Bayless. Edwin Rios, ball out. Next game after that, okay, we playing against Inland out of California. You know, Kool-Aid always keep a squad. They balling. They had the one dude that was at Louisville, Edwin Rios, go crazy against him, knock them off. Next game after that, we got Monte Ellis in the gym. You got NBA scouts. They was talking about Monte Ellis going to the league. I was like, okay, Eddie, I don't know how I go in this game. We play against Monte Ellis. Eddie outplayed Monte Ellis. Check it now. This all the same tournament. Outplayed Monte Ellis. Now next up, we got OJ Mayo. OJ is the juice at that time. Everybody is talking about OJ Mayo. Eddie come to me. No word. He say, I bet I bust his ass. I say, Eddie, yo. That's what he said. That's how Eddie talk. Eddie, we play against him. Boom, we beat him. Like we beat him. We come out again. So now we mess around and get to the Final Four.
Wow.
Against OJ Mayo again. This is 6 players we got on the team. Eddie Rios is a freshman. I can't over-exaggerate this. He's a freshman. We play against OJ Mayo in the Final Four. He beat him again. Now we in the championship. We got Speece in the Heat. Check the team. Point guard, Mike Conley. Mike Conley at the point guard. 2, Eric Gordon. At the 3, DeQuan Cook.
Wow.
At the 4, Josh McRoberts. At the 5, Greg Oden. The team hadn't lost. We had them up into the first half. The first half was like a 2-point game. By the time the game was over, they beat us. But Greg Oden went 10 for 10 inside of the game. But when the smoke cleared, Edwin Rios had went through everybody. He still had a record to this day, the most total points scored at big time, and he was only a freshman. He came back the next year in high school, won the state championship at Miami High, averaged 30 points a game as just a sophomore. And that's when everything took off. After we got that far, we hit up Sonny. Was like, Sonny, we ready to have that conversation about the shoe deal, man.
Now the price of the brick then went up.
hey, today's price wasn't not yesterday's price. Hey, that price different now. And that's why I got to give Brian a lot of credit for understanding the product that we had and not just jumping on it. And I got to give Sonny and Chris Rivers, man, them dudes was like,
I had Chris on, yo. Hey,
man, still to this day, man, Chris Rivers is the only person that can call and cuss me out like he my uncle, man. Chris Rivers, and Sonny, man, and my man, Hat, Gary Charles.
Gary Charles.
Man, that's the trio, man.
Now let's get on to Junior, man. This was your guy.
Hey, you know what? So remember I told you when we went out there to Vegas, Kenny Boynton, aka Junior, was only a 7th grader. But he watched everything that Eddie did. And Eddie was like his hero. Like Eddie was like, Edwin Rios was like the person that Kenny Boynton looked up to. So Kenny was like, man, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta kind of duplicate the same things that he doing. So, you know, that next year, Edwin Rios is hurt. So that, you know, the summer after sophomore year, he get hurt. We go out there. Kenny Boynton is just inside of the 8th grade at that particular time. We put him inside of the game. We at Vegas again. We telling him, hey, this is where the stars are born at. He going to the game because somebody fouled out or something, man. And he's scoring bucket. He had 15. Boom. He had 20. Remember, he had 8th grade. He had 30. I was like, dang, he had 30. We might well let him keep going. By the time everything settled, he had 45 points in a big time game. So now it's in the page of the Vegas 14-year-old get 45 points. Once he starts smelling blood that he can score it, he never stopped it. So you know what I'm saying? He just scored bucket after bucket after bucket.
Yeah,
And that
let's take a look at some of
2009
his
class
scoring.
was loaded. You know,
Yeah, let's take a,
it
let's
was
take a
loaded,
look at,
man.
yeah, let's take a look at some of his scoring. I got some stuff for him too, man. Take a look at some of his scoring.
KB.
But he was getting a bucket.
He get buckets. Crazy looking jump shot, but it's gonna go down.
Junior.
You see the baggy shorts.
Elite 24.
Yeah, Elite 24. And man, Kenny was it's like the thing about him, he giving it to you every type of way. You know, and people be like, guys be dominating. Kenny didn't think he was dominating unless he gave you 35. It wasn't like no 15, but he looked like a prospect. He giving you 35, 40. City of Palms, all-time leading scorer at the City of Palms. Bob Gibbons, getting points in the Bob Gibbons. NBA camp, getting buckets. Vegas, getting everywhere he went. And they had a loaded class. John Wall was in that class.
One of the
joints.
Yeah, one of the joints they benefited from with you guys was, bro, y'all wasn't trying to let nobody not know that they was nice. Like y'all, they had the sales. Y'all was fighting for one thing y'all did was fight for y'all boys, bro. Ain't nobody gonna
man, hey, you know what, man? Like,
y'all boys, bro.
We wasn't like our thing was, man, and props to Darius Washington Sr., man. Them rivalries that he had with Sebastian Telfair. Yeah. The advice that he gave us, man, he was like, listen, when you get out on that stage, man, you got to come through the front door. Let people know you coming, man. So, like, we knew that, hey, man, our guys are some dogs. So when Kenny came in through the door, we only look at who's supposed to be the top guy. And shout out to, like, Lance Stevenson, because Lance was
y'all used to call that. Y'all used to call that one out all the time.
We used to call him out. But the thing about, you know, like, hey, you get some guys that like back away, but Lance and his daddy was like, yo, we want the smoke. So
exactly. That's what I miss. I used to love when it was going down.
It was going down. John Wall was like, we want the smoke. Avery Bradley was like, we want the smoke. You know what I'm saying? These guards was like, we want the smoke. And the big thing too, they was guarding each other, because as good as Kenny was on offense, he was even better on defense. Like, he came from like Pompano, where they believed inside of like defense, but Kenny had so much swag, man. He gonna come in there and give you 30, probably lock you up, try to holler at your girl as he get ready to leave out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and dad was a police officer, mom was a teacher, so even though he had a tattoo from the time he was 14 and had braids, he still was a good student, knew all the church songs, and very well respectful.
Good kid, bro. Good kid, bro. All right, so let's go on to the next one. We got this young fella, Vargas. I pulled some. You see, I got the uni on there. I pulled it. Hey, I tried to do some research, bro. I tried to do a little research, bro.
Hey, man, Eloy Vargas, man. I hate it for him in this regard, man. He was before his time. 6'10" guy that can take you off the dribble, knock down threes from the top, but also go down a rebound. So everybody wanted him to be this power type guy. Yeah, and he wasn't that. So that's why when he was with Breakdown, he finished off his last summer after his junior year, ranked number 10 in the country. He ended up being the highest ranked guy to not make the McDonald's All-American game. Why? But man, he like, hey, well, he was on the same team with all the dogs. He was on the team with Kenny Boyd anyway. So hey, they had too much firepower. But a lot of times, people would see him and wanted to be that post guy, man. And he just wasn't that post guy. He was more of a he was a finesse dude, but he was smooth, man. Like when we won our first national championship, he was the guy inside of the middle. He can guard the pick and roll. He can guard inside of the post, but he would get you at the top of the key. He gonna give it to you with a three, rake by, all the other type of stuff, man. I love Eloy Vargas, man. Like
Yo,
he was our first big time big that we had.
How long did you guys follow high school basketball in Miami?
We've been doing since '99. That's we actually started doing.
So y'all remember this dude, bro? One of the illest dudes I ever saw from Miami. I was at Slam Dunk to the Beach, and I saw Guillermo Diaz. This dude was ridiculous.
Superman.
Yo, I ain't never seen nobody
Superman.
jumping like that. A Spanish kid jump, yo, it was crazy, bro.
Superman, man. Like Superman, he came from that R. Alvarez pipeline where I was telling you all those guys, man.
That squad was nice he had, yo.
Right. That's why they call him. That's why they call him Superman. And so R. Alvarez, when he had that group, man, they was ridiculous. We kind of, we always got a lot of love for him, man. Just what he did, helped mentoring us and everything like that. And he always said he got a lot of love for us because Miami Christian ended up being on the cover of Breakdown magazine, and that kind of encouraged him to go ahead and start off coaching. And man, he hasn't stopped since then. But Guillermo Diaz is hey, he was the juice. He was a folk legend also inside of Miami.
Who you talking about? Diaz?
Diaz.
I bet he was.
He was. So all Latino players be represented, man. So it's like when Eloy came, Eloy wasn't the dude that was this bruiser, athletic dude. Eloy was smooth. He'd take out the dribble. He'll knock down the three. He gonna block the shots. So, but they wanted him to be something else. Even when he got to Kentucky, Cal wanted to put about 30, 40 pounds to get ready to beg inside of the post.
Yeah,
that's just not me. So we was always be like, hey, Eloy stayed with us. We advised him. That was really like the little brother, man. So because all of us was guards, he did a lot of guard work, man. If he would have been in New York, New Jersey, up in Maryland, totally different guy. But even after all that, he had a great career. Like I say, he was number 10 in the country. Number 10.
All right. Yeah, now sometimes in the game you have some and then stuff happens. I always wanted to know what happened in this situation, man. What happened with Brandon Knight, bro? What happened, bro? How did he go from y'all to Nike, bro? What happened, bro?
Well, you know what? This was the thing, man. Brandon, shout out to his parents, man. Did a great job of raising him, man. Great kid, 4.0 student. So he played with us that freshman year. We won the 1700 national championship. Played with us to that next year, sophomore year, won the 1700 championship. Now, once it get time to go to that last year, I think the egos from both of us got inside of the way. Brandon kind of wanted us to sit down and kind of explain to him why he should come back for his last year. Our ego, man, we ain't sitting down explaining to you, man. You'd have played with us for 2 years. If you go, the next guy going to get ready to step in. You know what I'm saying? You'd have seen how we do things. It's crazy that we got to go ahead and re-recruit you. So I'm coaching the team. Brian is kind of like the GM. Brian's like, yo, Ken, you can't be so emotional, man. He's a kid, sit down and get ready to do it. I say, man, no, I ain't giving no stipulations, blah, blah, blah. Either you ride with us or you're on the other side. We'll see you on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So I think, Brandon and his family, they hadn't played in Nike. Everybody pushing Nike. And I'm like, man, hey, go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up going and play with Nike. We were like, hey, the best of luck to you and everything. So we left off really, really good. But I just think it was neither party was willing to go ahead and kind of lower the egos and just say, hey, let's do this third time and just go ahead and do something that somebody has never done. Let's go out and win 3 back-to-back 17 other national championships, man. So, but credit to him, man. I love coaching Brandon, but bigger than that, man, he was a great kid, man. Whenever he went on any trip, he had 2 book bags, one for all of his books and his Bible, and the other for 2 basketballs. Kid never got a B inside of high school, man. Christian young man, great dude, great work ethic, man. But at the end of the day, he kind of did his thing at Nike. I don't think he had the same career he had in breakdown, but hey, once the wolf, always a wolf, man. The minute, he was a champion with us, man. But much love, man. To whenever any of the kids,
I just always wanted to. I always wanted to know. That's why I do these interviews.
You know we gonna keep it 100 for you. Tell you exactly what it is. That's exactly what it was, man. You had a young coach and myself. I was the head coach. My brother Bram was like, man, let's sit down and let's really just have a conversation about getting all this stuff done. And I was like, not at all. I'm not having no other conversation about why you should stay and play with breakdown when you'd have played with us for 2 years and everything like that. I'm not doing that. If you got to go play with someone else, let him go play with someone else. No hard feelings. Cool. Let him do his thing.
All right, now let's take it to the camp, baby. ABCD camp. Now we get up in here. This when things is goes down at. We done see so much stuff going on, bro. I gotta talk about one of the funniest things, man. When we was in the crowd, we be sitting in the bleachers talking our junk, everybody talking, laughing, and you got into it with Kendall Marshall dad, bro. And Kendall Marshall dad was saying this and saying that, and then you told this dude, I know you're not heavy in this game. And he said, why you gonna say that? He said, because you don't know who I am. And if you don't know who I am, that means that you ain't in this game for real. Because if you was in this game, you would already know who I was. I still remember that like it was yesterday, man. Take us to them times up there, Braid. Ken, and then how it was when y'all came up there, bro.
Man, you know what, man? Like, we had our first experiences being up New York and New Jersey with the Rumble in the Bronx. So we went to Rumble in the Bronx. Every time we went to Rumble in the Bronx, so it was like
heart tournament, yeah.
Oh, it's like New York, New Jersey, they gonna keep it real. So you gotta bring it. If you can't play, they're gonna tell you can't play. But if you can play, they're gonna tell you can play. So we'll always hear about the ABCD camp because like Tracy McGrady, everybody be like, that's where he got his start from. Everybody just talk about ABCD, Sonny Vaccaro, man. To us, this was like, this is like the NBA combine. So we like, man, we just needed to go ahead and get into the door. We had seen before with the wars for Darius, Washington, Sebastian Telfair.
That was crazy.
So when Sonny Vaccaro gave us that invite, we like, again, we coming through the front door, man. Like, hey, our guys is here. Like, we was on there, like Roy Jones talked some trash. Muhammad Ali, the champ, is here. Like, where they at? Everybody's supposed to be good, blah, blah, blah. So you get in there and you got wars. But one thing we realized, you got to be ready for the ABCD camp. The worst, we had never seen that like it. The worst player on the team could be a high major.
I know.
So, let's talk about we talking to eliminate like the nervousness we got. Like, geez,
let's talk about some of the. I remember one of the other funny things you turned to New York dudes. You was like, y'all had everybody fooled with the folk tales until the internet came out. He said, now we got the internet. Y'all can't lie no more about people jumping over cars. And
hey, man. The guys from the South, man, we don't like to admit it, but we got a lot of respect for up north, man. You know what I'm saying?
It did.
And we got a lot of respect. So we always hear the stories. Man, in New York, they doing this, blah, 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 blah. they got pros walking through. I'm like, man. So when the internet pop out, man, I'm searching this. He was all right. He wasn't that good. He was all right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I get up there, man, it just be the talking the trash, man.
It did. That's why I love it, man.
I wanted the atmosphere to be set. So when the guys step on the floor,
it's on.
Right. I didn't want to hear, man, you know what? He wasn't taking it serious. He wasn't taking it serious, man. So we wanted.
What made y'all dope was that y'all was media guys too. So y'all wasn't just so y'all knew that atmosphere needed to be there to make it nice. So let's take a look at one of the battles, Lance and OJ, man. Wow. Remember that joint? So we gonna take a look at it first, and then we gonna talk about it. We gonna take a little look at it first, then we gonna talk about it. That joint right there was crazy.
That was past crazy.
The game that they wanted to see him play. I had no idea who he was. Lance Stevenson, he had made 2 baskets. The crowd was going crazy. I really didn't intend on getting into a type of battle like that, but sometimes it happens.
At first, I think Mayo was somewhat amused by it, maybe a little bit surprised.
That's us sitting right back there.
We just got mad.
OJ told him on the other side of the court, he said, "Come here, you come here."
I remember that.
OJ was just trying to prove to him that he is the #1 player in the country.
He's real good. It's fun to be in the 8th grade. A lot of times I was always the one going after people, so that was kind of like the first time that I felt like someone was coming after me. Are you saying you can't score, can't do this, can't do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, them was the times, man. Them was the times, man. What did you think, like, out of the matchup, right? And how everything was set up? I had Chris on it, and we talked about like the behind the scenes stuff and how he put it together to make sure that it was a climax during them times, man. Do you think that type of stuff is missed now?
Oh, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Now it's missed by the people that have seen it. And I think what go on today, man, you got too many guys that they fans of the other guy. They don't want to necessarily go against the top guy on the stage. When they do, it's too friendly. Like, somebody like OJ, I remember like yesterday, OJ, Lance kind of got caught in a switch, and OJ waited for him, say, "Yo, come here." Like, I don't want to have no excuses what's going on. Like, you about to get this work, my man. And Lance didn't back down. But, like at that time, OJ was like, "I'm the king and I'm not surrendering my throne. I see you coming at me, my man, what you could. But there's levels to this." You know what I'm saying? I think Lance got his game up, but I think that's what's missing. You got to be able to compete, man. Like, people get caught up in the upside potential and they don't want to go. I don't got nothing to prove. I hate that I don't got anything to prove. Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely missed.
Now let's talk about the guy on the right, man. I remember his freshman year when he came there and he was slim. You couldn't remember how he was, bro? You couldn't tell me nothing, bro. He was that dude, bro. Now, now this is what I said before, and I'm gonna see if you agree. That year, he was here, and Lance and Junior and them was down here. That first year,
right.
He was clear, way like far ahead of them in terms of potential and everything. And what you think happened, bro?
Man, I definitely think it was just a case of, man,
Ronaldo Sidney we talking about right here.
Nah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was just letting the viewers know who we talking about. We talking about Ronaldo Sidney.
Man, the bright lights, man. You know what I'm saying? You took a dude that was inside of Mississippi where he's grinding. And you took him and put him inside of an atmosphere that he got complacent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, now instead of you getting on that grind, you still being a killer. You ain't really grinding. You grinding, but if you don't make it, somebody coming in there saying, "I got it. It wasn't that bad." Blah 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 blah. But I think that's just what happened, man. I think he got complacent, and it's one of those things. You got to make sure that you keep people around you that's going to be honest with you, and not to say. And in retrospect, it's so hard because at that point, man, he like 6'9" freshman. Everybody in high school basketball wanted him, man.
I know.
So,
he was slim. He was slim.
Mississippi to California.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You go from Mississippi to California.
Yo, you know why? You know I put Chris on the table when he came on here. We talked about this, and Chris took ownership. Chris said I was the one mixing the Kool-Aid, and he said, in that one, I think I put a little too much sugar, Mike.
100%, man.
100%. Yeah. He took ownership though. He took ownership of it though.
But his talent level was crazy, man.
Like
man, I just only imagine what he could have been, even when he got heavier, where he can still hoop, he can still play. But the atmosphere around him was like, dog, you can't do no wrong. So it was never like, why Kenny was getting like Kenny was getting it from everybody around him. Lance was getting it from everybody around him. So them dudes were still trying to reach where he was at. You know what I'm saying? So I always say you'll never really want to be that guy on the top when you're young. Because you don't really got nothing to reach for.
It's too hard to stay there.
It's too hard to stay there, man. Everybody takes shots at you, throw rocks at the throne, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and you don't got nothing to really to chase. You gotta have something that you chasing. And he was at the top. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was telling him how good he was, which he was that good. Like his potential was crazy. He went to work. I remember freshman at the ABCD camp, man. He had it
then
on.
Master P laid eyes on him, and everything changed.
Man, you got it. It's two-part, man. It's the Cali Ronaldo Sidney, and it's the Mississippi Ronaldo Sidney. Which one you talking about, man?
All facts. Man, them was the times up at ABCD camp, man.
Man, hey, you know what?
I loved having the media pass, going to the hotel with all of the food at chilling, man.
Oh my goodness.
Games.
Man, it was the talent was great, but the camaraderie among just the people, the talking, like I love sitting in the stands and talking with other basketball people.
That was the funnest time.
Like, we should keep it real, man. Like we telling like what we really think about people.
You remember Trayvon Woodall dunked on Brandon Jennings?
I definitely remember that because Trayvon Woodall was a killer.
Trayvon Woodall banged on Brandon Jennings.
He was a killer. Trayvon, there's a Gio, and there's one other one, man.
Mike Rosario.
Yes. Yeah, hey, I remember this trio. Hey, listen, all them dudes, I remember well. Trayvon was a killer, though, man. He was a killer.
Trayvon Woodall banged on Brandon.
But it was so many guys. When you go back and look at it, man, I remember Isaiah Thomas was the favorite at the ABCD camp.
He was killing out there.
But he was the favorite. He was the dude that's like, okay, Chris, like, okay, let me just go ahead and get him in, man. Rivers was like, I'll just get him in. This man ended up being an NBA All-Star. He was the favorite at the camp. You know what I'm saying? That same year, I think Derrick Rose got hurt. So
because we wanted to see Derrick Rose and OJ go at it. Everybody came up there for that. Yeah,
man, it was so much talent. Like the talent was just crazy. It separated the good players from the stars because you had to be a star among stars to stand out at the ABCD camp. You know, it was loaded.
Indeed. So then, during this time after this happened, I had left Metro Hoops and I started Basketball Spotlight. I went down to middle school, and then y'all kept doing breakdown. Take me through some of the years after that, which y'all transitioned from like Reebok to like, I guess y'all went to Under Armour after that. Take me through those years because that's when I was doing middle school. I wasn't in high school no more. Take me through those times.
Man, well, you know, at that time, man, Sonny Vaccaro kind of got out of the game. You know what I'm saying? So when Sonny got out of the game, Pat Combs ended up going over to UA.
Okay.
So he ended up reaching out to some of those Reebok teams, man. We always had a lot of love for him because, you know, again, we were some young guys at Reebok. We had these people that advise us. So we ended up going into UA, and we going into UA, and it was good. Now, the talent was good, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? When you go with Sonny Vaccaro events, it was different. So, you know, you kind of had to get used to it. So, but it was talented. It was very talented. But the difference between UA and Reebok was more so featuring players as opposed to winning games. When you was Reebok, you wanted to be the top team. We got the UA. One year we was the #1 team inside of the country. And we was like, okay, what is this doing? Like, you ain't creating no buzz. Because it wasn't about who was the #1 team in the country. It was about who have the best pros. So
the game changed.
Right. So now our model had to switch from creating the best team in the country, which we did with Reebok, to now forget trying to be the best team in the country. UA want pros. And during that time that we was there, we had the most $1 million pros that was there, but now we wasn't winning as much as we normally win. And people are like, well, dang, y'all got the pros, but we ain't like just all out winning. We was like, because that's not the focus anymore.
Who did y'all have during that time?
During that time when we first started off, you know, it was DeJuan Hewell, who ended up playing inside of the league. We had Justin Justin James ended up playing inside of the league. We had Anthony Simons ended up
That's what I
playing
got
inside of
right
the
here.
league. We
Tell me
had
about this kid, because I ain't really. I saw like brief stuff on him. Tell me how he came with y'all, how y'all developing, and how you get to the Blazers.
so again, all about prospects, man. So
Mm-hmm.
he was happy to be inside of the same grade as my son. I started doing, basketball for my son. So him and my son, the same age, man. So that's like my godson. I've been working out since the time that he was like 5th grade, 6th grade. So he grew up watching old breakdown with the Reebok teams. As a matter of fact, he seen Kenny Boynton them win the championship. And that time he was in middle school. He was like, I want to get ready to play for breakdown. I said, you got to wait till your 9th grade year. 9th grade year, when he comes along, which is the same grade as my son, I go down and start coaching 15 on the team for the first time. And he was at that time about a 5'10" guy that can shoot it. Dad was a great player, can shoot, you know what I'm saying? But he was just this skinny kid, but he was skilled. So I'm telling everybody, yo, my man, this is the next one. Like, man, 5'10", not athletic, like what we talking about. Next year, come back about 6'2", you know what I'm saying? 6'2", still can shoot the air out of the ball, jumping higher. He started looking really, really good, man. So after his sophomore year, he ended up that junior year, he transferred and went to Mount Verd for his junior year. When he got to Mount Verd, it was one of those things where not really the point guard, undersized at the 2, but you know how Coach Boyle, you got to be a stone-nosed defensive guy, play tough. He wasn't that type of guy, man. He was more Steph Curry. Then, what's the man that came out with Steph Curry? Was it Flynn? Johnny Flynn?
Yeah,
Flynn?
yeah.
So remember at the time, everybody was like Johnny Flynn was the guy, more athletic, tough,
Yeah.
Steph Curry, I didn't really know. So he was more Steph Curry, so didn't get a lot of minutes at Mount Verd. It's kind of like the 7th man. And then I was like, hey, man, we got to reclass. You got to do this thing all over again. A lot of people see you. You didn't do what you got to do. Kept working. Make a long story short, man, by the time the smoke cleared, you had a 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" guard with a 39-inch vertical, can shoot the air out of the basketball, and was skilled. And once he got on the court with everybody, his offense became his defense, man. Like, hey, you'd be like, hey, you're going to get so tired trying to chase him around that he ain't going to have to play a whole lot of defense, man. So he ended up
Was he like a Jared Bellis?
I would say he was more, when he went to the NBA draft, I say, imagine like Trae Young with a 30-inch vertical. You know what I'm saying? The kid, like if you look at him inside of the league, think about it, he's a kid that came from high school. Remember, he went from IMG to the NBA. When is the last time that a guard, he only 6'3". Think about how good you got to be a guard. Never played with Nike. You know what I'm saying? You went to Mount Verd and you left. So already, you go to Mount Verd, you transfer in January, it's, people going to be like, well, could he not make it? He went to a traditional high school team. He was a first-round pick out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So because he can shoot the ball so well, but he jumps out of the gym. 39-inch vertical, man. And so, like, right now with the Trailblazers, you see what he's doing. You see what he did last year, man. And I think he's just getting started. But he always had that in his game. While everybody else was concerned with the bigger, stronger guy, with him and his dad, we was concerned with his skill level. It was like, if your skill level get better, you'll get taller, you'll get stronger. But your skill level got to be at a point where you can create your own shot, you can create for others. And then once it all came together, he was a killer. I'm talking about a stone cold kill. The only time he didn't kill when he didn't get the minutes. Every time that he's got the minutes, he's killed, even in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
His dad knew something with that first name, Anthony. The only one I saw that name had was Hardaway.
And you know what? Hey, here's the crazy thing. His dad is from Tennessee. So he's named after Anthony Hardaway. As a matter of fact, one of Anthony's best friends is Anthony Hardaway's son. They grew up together. His son, his son grew up in Florida, man. So even with all that, so there's definitely that's who he's named after, man. But you think, You think about a young man right now, man, that is signed for $100 million contract. He's only 24 years old. So by the time he's 29, he'll probably have another $200 million contract. He'll really be in his prime.
Wow. What's the how was it when it was time for y'all to lead the whole Under Armour thing?
Well, like I was saying, at that time, man, it was all about the pros. So, man, we had a string of pros: DeJuan Hughes, Justin James. We had Anthony Simons. We had Kai Jones, and then we had the Bewley twins. That was the first guys to actually go from 10th grade, and they got $1 million out of 10th grade to go to overtime. So, the money just wasn't really there as much as it used to be. So with Under Armour, we found ourselves when Under Armour wanted you to travel, you had to bring your 16 on the team, you had to bring your 17 on the team. So it was like, man, by the time we get ready to travel, we spending money. You know what I'm saying? So I think, over the time, it went from one of those things that was probably good in the startup time. But by the time we got to that point, man, we was like, we got enough people within our own group that can give us the resources. And it don't make no sense for us to be with a shoe brand and we spending money. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of the big deal. It was like we've been in the game long enough where we don't need any other brand to go ahead and give us exposure. By this time, man, we got over 15 former players that coach in college, NBA, or WNBA. You know what I'm saying? We got the connects, we got the media. Like, okay, it was good. We appreciate everything Under Armour done for us, but it really just came down to the dollars and cents, man. We ain't gonna be paying money to get ready to travel. But Under Armour, it was fun times, man. We always appreciate what they did for us, bridging that gap after Reebok kind of like, stopped and everything. And, they still kind of doing their thing right now. We doing our thing, but that's the time we transitioned from being the best team to creating pros. That's what we call it.
Indeed. Now, you said something about, and I'm trying to understand this concept because I seen the thing. I seen some of their highlights. I seen a couple of their games, and it looks like they put on a lot of performance. Explain the overtime thing to me, bro. Like how did like explain the concept, what it's for? Because I seen little things, but I never really focused in on it. What's the whole concept of it?
I mean, it's kind of like you look at like back in the days, some of the basketball powers. Like think about Oak Hill. When somebody's going to Oak Hill back inside of the day, man, you was going to Oak Hill to improve your game, to be with the very best people, and like basically increase your chance of being a pro. So overtime, basically saying, hey, let's get the best players in high school. Let's get the best trainers. Let's put them where they playing in a nice arena. That gives them everything they need from a basketball standpoint. They kind of do their thing. In addition to that, let's give them the best teachers so they can go ahead. They have a 3-to-1 student to teacher ratio. So you get the best teacher. But the kicker is all these kids don't have no money. Hey, so now we know what it is. The top players usually a financial scrap. So what do we got to do to make sure they're only focusing on basketball in school? They got to get paid in the form of an NIL. They go ahead and get the NIL. Now you got kids that when they first started off, the worst contract was $100,000. If I got money, the only thing I got to do is focus on basketball in school. That's what it's about. So in a nutshell, that's what overtime is. Overtime is Mount Verb, but you got NIL. Overtime is Oak Hill, but you got NIL. Overtime is St. Pat back in the day, but you got NIL.
So once you go there, you don't play for your school no more. You just play for them.
Right, you play for them. So you play for their school because overtime is actually
now. How many teams do they have?
Well, the first year when they started off, they had 3 teams and they had about 8 guys on each team. So you're getting a lot of playing time. So now I think they got 3 teams, but now there's other programs that can play in their circuit. Like this year, I think Our Savior played as one of the teams in overtime. Well, you still go to your high school, but now they fly you in to play. They basically operate.
Yeah, because I saw Al Savior. That's why I was asking them because I didn't know if the kid still played for his high school and for overtime. I saw that
So in that situation, so you play for Our Savior, and Our Savior play in the overtime league. So
Okay,
there's three
got you.
overtime teams, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know how many other teams outside, but all of them play inside of the league.
Oh,
now, so the
Gotcha.
pros of it is you have the money, you have the training, you have the education. The downside of it is if you're a 15, 16-year-old kid and you got $300,000 and you telling you, hey, you got to get up and go play basketball. You got to get up and train. That motivation factor is not there.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that at the end of the NIL. Now, I got to talk about this. How did this happen? And because I got to hear the story about this joint right here. I got to hear the story about this. I got to hear the story about it. How did we go from there? You and tell her and let her see the picture I put up. I snatched that out the archives. How did we go from there, coaching, to the pictures on the right? Man, I gotta hear this love story. What happened, man?
Hey, man, you know, she was doing her team. I'm doing my team. I think we was always passionate. We was always passionate about not so much about basketball at first, but about just helping kids, man.
Wow.
You know, helping kids reach their dream. Her career was 6 times better than my career, man. She got a jersey retired and everything like that at her school. Like she was like 27 points per game, 5 steals, 6 assists. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you walk in, was a killer. But I think when she would see, and then she wasn't the tallest player. So when she see other kids that have a desire to go ahead and reach their goal, she want to get ready to help. And I think that's the connection that we have because I kind of feel the same way. And then we can both be inside of a gym for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours actually watching the game, looking at the game. No one's not saying that they're ready to go, anything like that, man. So, you know, everything just, you know, kind of just started from there. The only time we ever have a problem is when I play her team. She'd have beat me enough now that I don't play her no more, man. You know,
y'all was actually still coaching against each other at AAU?
Hey, man, I've learned my lesson, man. I am not getting on the
Hold on.
sideline.
How was it on y'all coaching husband and wife? I never seen that before, yo.
Hey, man, look, how Kevin Garnett say that time when he was about to play Austin Rivers, he a dragon, so he can't cut it off. You know what I'm saying? When I go into coaching mode, I'm in coaching mode. It don't matter if my wife, my daughter, my son, whoever. So I'm in coaching mode. But the crazy thing about her, she in coaching mode. So you know, like we both in coaching mode. And then,
hold on. I gotta ask this. Y'all at the same tournament, right? Y'all play each other in the tournament. Y'all coached against each other. What's the conversation in the room that night when the game over?
Hey, I'm hot, man. I'm a competitor. Bro. Like, hey, I'm hot. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? She ain't the type that's really gonna say something unless I say something slick. But you know, like I'm like, dang, man, you know what I'm saying? The last time we played, the game stopped. Like they stopped. That's how intense it got. I'm like, man, you giving her every call. And she looking at me like,
wish
stop
y'all
crying,
seen this, bro. I wish y'all seen this, yo.
Hey. But she like kicking my behind. So I'm like, man, I gotta dig deep in the coaching bag. I got to start getting some calls. She digging deep in the coaching bag. I'm saying, like, she getting out of calls. She telling the ref that he crying over there. Don't be getting caught up in the wine and everything. Like, everything I got, she check making me, man. So I just had to go to the old, you know how you get a check to get thrown out?
Hey, yo. Did she pull out some plays and some stuff that she never showed you before?
Hey, this is the crazy thing about it, man. I know most of everything that they were running, but at the end, when you playing for somebody that averaged 27 a game, you know how to get your score going. She know what it takes to get her score going, man. So
that's so dope, yo.
Clear it out. Like, she ISO and guys going by me. And then they went into their trap, man. And we just, you know how when you want to win so bad, now I'm getting flurried. I'm like, dang, that. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those things.
I thought that once y'all got married, she came over. I know she came over with you in high school. I did not know y'all was still going down at AAU. That's so dope, yo.
Man, I can't even say she came over with me in high school. She was already like, she just didn't want to coach the high school team. So I'm like, can you help me coach the high school team? Hey,
all right, that's not next.
Hey, yo, I want you to think it's one of those things. Hey, like we get man. I just be the person that's standing up, man. Like when it come down to our high school team,
dope,
a lot of the kids actually be on her team, man. So like,
that's dope.
She's one of the people, man. Just to be really honest, I never think that she get the actual real credit and the real like respect that she's supposed to get, man. She really have guys that play on her team that really started off that was unknown that end up being pros while she dealing with like crazy hate. I'm like, it'd be like sometimes as a husband, I'd be like, yo, like, why dude so mad? I'm talking about like guys that come at me with some stuff, but they be coming at her with like the eat.
I've never experienced a husband and wife coaching against each other. That gotta be so dope. I would have been crying looking at that.
Hey, we competitors, man. So at the end of the day, we gonna compete. But at the end of the day, it's all about the kids, man. And I think we just never brought the teams together as one because we always felt like, well, I'll be honest, she always felt when she brought it to my attention, we can help more kids with two teams.
Yeah, with both,
with both teams.
Indeed,
and that's the one thing. Because at first I'm like, man, I can't be out here when we married. It don't make no sense for us to be. But she, she really was passionate about it, man. Hey,
that's dope.
That's how real she was about helping the kids and what they can do and everything, man. So it's fun, man. Like right now, I'd be like, man, hey, we going to the same tournaments, man. So we both the same brand. We both was with UA for a little while. You know what I'm saying? So like, she support me in what I do. I support her in what she do, man.
At least you don't got to worry about her saying you going to too many basketball games.
The crazy thing is, I'm the person that probably be the first one to say, let's get out of the gym. I never thought I would meet somebody who I'd be like, Diane, how many games we gonna watch? Hey, we'll be home sometime. Hey, we about to go to this game. Like, Diane, we just came from practice. Like, why are we going to a game? I gotta see this person play. So she watch more basketball than me. I ain't gonna lie.
That's so dope, man.
She
Tell
watch
us
more
what's
basketball,
up, man.
man.
Long time no see, man. Yo, next up. Now, like I just said, now you'll arrive at West Oaks Academy, man. Tell me how this happens, bro.
Man, she actually, told me to come out there and kind of like teach. So I think it was 2014, 2015 school year. I was just a teacher at the school, and they had a coach at West Oaks where they won the championship that year. When they won the championship, one of the players, Andreas Felice, that played at Illinois, big time player overseas, he played on my AAU team. He was Dominican. We still had a Dominican pipeline. So he played with me in the summer. And then the coach who was coaching the team basically said he was out. And so he was like, he leaving. And he basically took all of his players with him. Andreas had played with me. So Andreas was like, he just going to stay. So, Diane she knew the administration. She was like, why don't y'all just let Kenny coach the team? And I was like, man, I wasn't really feeling coaching high school basketball at that time, man. But the principal and the pastor, they kind of came to me and they was like, hey, man, the school had won the state championship before. There was a top 25 team. The coach left. We have 0 players, 0 resources. He took the uniforms, took everything, even took the trophy. Would you like to go ahead and do it? So now when I get to that point, I'm like, okay, it sounds more intriguing because we're at the bottom. I love
you love that. You love that. You love that.
That was like, hey, so now like that competitive juice started coming in. And then my wife was like, hey, let's just go ahead and get ready to do it. So, I came in the year of 2015, 2016. And then the SIAA, man, the SIAA is loaded. Like each year, there's 2 to 3 teams that's ranked top 25 inside of the country. So I come in and they doing like the interviews, asking me, this your first year in the SIAA? They asked me, how do you think you're going to do? So my response is, if we don't win the championship, it's a failure. So now they like everybody looking at me. Here's this cocky dude. He don't know what's going on. But I'm going back to my breakdown days. I'm like, shoot, you give me a basketball, you give me a gym, and we be able to get in here and work. My wife here, coach, we can't do nothing but be good. By the time the smoke cleared at the championship, we end up winning the championship by the most that anybody have ever won a championship game from. Now the crazy thing, that was in 2016. We ain't won a championship since.
Now,
Now we'd have went to a lot of we'd have went to 5 of them, but right now this was my 9th year. In my 9th year, this was the first year that we ever wasn't nationally ranked. So 8 out of 9 years we've been nationally ranked. We have a lot of players that have done really good. So it's a national name now, man. You know, if you look at some of my guys that was in the transfer portal did really good. Wesley Cardette at Providence, Shelton Miguel at Maryland, AJ Staten that left from Sanford, the guy that had the block. You know, Jaden Tracy on Oregon. All of these guys are starters on teams that played for me. At Matt Ryan, that's out at that signed for the $1 million after their sophomore year at West Oaks. LJ Figueroa that played at Oregon. You know, Tyrell Jones that was top 100. Man, the list go on and on and on to the point now where it all depends on who you talk to. Some people know me from West Oaks, and the other one may know me from Breakdown. But I've just been blessed to have a very, very talented program, man. So it's my wife, another assistant coach, man, Harold Lilly, that's from New York. You got to get in New York when you're going with basketball, man. And our AD, Barry Myers, our pastor and our principal, man, they give us whatever we need to make sure we be successful on the court and off the court, man. A lot of our kids, man, you can't play for me unless you have A's and B's on your report card, man. So it's been a blessing.
Now, one of your signature wins, man, came against Oak Hill. Take us to that moment, man.
Man, you know what? I got to start the year before.
Let's make people understand Oak Hill was good then. So take us to that moment.
Now, first we got to say Oak Hill has never been bad. When Steve Smith was there, bad for Oak Hill is losing 4 games in a year. That was bad for Oak Hill. You know what I'm saying? So when we went in to play we played Oak Hill 2 years. The first year we went and played them and we lost. That's when they had Cole. They had Cole Anthony as the point guard. Coffee was the big. We went up to Oak Hill. My first time ever going into Oak Hill. I'm like, where in the world are we going, man? We stop at a Subway. Then the lady said, "This is gonna be like the last stop y'all gonna have now." We drive about 45 minutes in the woods, in the mountains. We get into Oak Hill. We lose to Cole Anthony and them. I say, no matter what, we coming back next year. Shout out to Steve Smith for Coach Smith for allowing us to play the game. We come back the next year, 2020, January 2020. We walk into the gym. I say, I don't care what, we ain't losing here. Before we go there, we play against a man out of UNC. That was at Combine. Jeff McGinnis. We played them as a warm-up game. Jeff went to Oak Hill. He said, you know you ain't beating Oak Hill at Oak Hill. He said, Kenny, ain't nobody to beat them at Oak Hill since 1996. I think y'all good, but y'all not beating them. We go in there. We take care of business, man. Our guys had a great game. Shelton Miguel at Maryland, he balled out. AJ Staten, that's now at FAU, that was at Sanford, balled out. Jaden Tracy at Oregon balled out. My son was on the team. AJ Neal, played at Chicago State this year, balled out. I had a sophomore big, he balled out. And, we were just hitting on all cylinders, but it was just one of those things, man, where it was like, we're not leaving out of here without a loss. That's the only trip that we actually paid to go to. Because West Oaks is a team, when we get ready to go, you know what I'm saying? We're a high-level team. They flying us out. We paid to go to Oak Hill. And I was like, man, we're not leaving out of here without winning. So we win the game. As we win in the game, man, there's about 20 seconds left. I'm telling the guys, y'all bet not jump up and down. Y'all jump up and down. We got suicide. Y'all bet act like y'all have won before.
Yeah.
Man, we get down there inside of the locker room. We going crazy in the locker room. But that was definitely, man, like the biggest moment in the high school career just off of the success that Coach Smith has had. And they had only lost one game that year. I don't want you to think they was bad. They had only lost one game. They had my man on the team. They top player. What's my man name? They played for Brooklyn. The score, Cam. Cam was getting buckets. You know, Cam was getting buckets, but they was loaded. It wasn't a bad team. I don't want you to think they was down. They had only lost one game the whole year. It was just our guys came together, man. A lot of prayer, a lot of believing, and we was able to get a huge victory. That was their first win. We beat them in 2020. I mean, that was their first loss since 1996. So think about that. From 1996 to 2020, they hadn't lost a home game.
Wow. Next up, now y'all had with this comes other stuff that comes with it, man. Let's talk about this, man. What happened, bro? What happened, bro? The media, the people started hating on y'all down there, bro.
And you know how it is, man. And I hate to kind of say it, man, but you know, West Oaks is a school probably about 99% minorities that's at the school. And I think a lot of the connotations that come, a lot of negative connotations that comes when you have a school that has a large minorities that's getting transfers, it's like all of a sudden we doing something bad, like we doing something wrong, we doing
So y'all
something
got
out.
3 transfers in, and then the outrage came.
The outrage like came now. People saying that we recruiting and everything. I'm like, of course, yeah, we recruiting. The same way same way IMG recruit, the same way Mount Vernon recruit, the same way Oak Hill recruit. But we not even going and getting like the local, you know, the local guys, man. We kind of getting guys that's outside of the area, man. And a lot of the guys that was getting, to be honest, was my guys that had played on my breakdown team, or my wife guys that played on her Showtime teams, man. But you know, that just comes with the territory, man. That's gonna come with the territory. Whenever you start reaching a certain level, you're gonna get the hate. You know, you got to go ahead and block it out.
That. I definitely understand
and
that.
especially a lot of the minority coaches, man, it's like that negative stuff start coming in there, and it just be like, you know, why? If you talk to any of the players that have played for us, they not saying things negative. Their family's not saying anything negative. So why is it a negative thing if a guy wants to be an elite player for him to go to a program that has produced elite players? You know, that only makes sense. On top of that, you know, there's good principles. It's a Christian school, and our guys are held to a very high academic standard. So I'm like, hey, I mean, if you want to be a good you're going to school on a basketball scholarship. So it would behoove you to get to a school that specializes in that. You know what I'm saying? So, but we get a lot of hate. But I'm one of those people that I don't hide behind. I'm gonna tell you what I feel about it, because there's nothing bad about it. You know what I'm saying? So they try to throw it out there, but with me being inside of the media, man, I don't bite my tongue. I'm gonna say what I have to say, because at the end of the day, it's something that's positive.
Indeed, man. So nothing came of it. It just was some people just throwing around words and stuff like that.
Well, you know, they tried to make something come of it, but nothing came of it except giving us more exposure, having more kids want to come to the school. I was like, cool, hey, that's free publicity. Now let's really open up the books and talk about what's really going on. Now I can really talk about what's going on at West Oaks. So when you really open up the books and begin to talk about it, you like, wow, I didn't know that. Where do I sign up? So I think that you know, they try to, but again, I'm a very transparent person. I don't hide behind anything. I'm gonna tell it like it is, good or bad. So you know, nothing ended up happening but us increasing our enrollment. You know.
Okay. Now, I know how you like to build things and you like to shoot for the top. Now, right in the same town, are you really ready for that smoke? Chasing Mount Vernon. You this what you really want? Are you trying to build to try to take down the king right now?
Man, like I gotta go back, because like at West Oaks, that's disrespectful for us to say we chasing anybody.
Oh,
we just we the show, man. We ain't chasing anybody. We don't need nobody to give us validity. We don't need nobody to say that we arrived. We never run from anything. If you ever see that West Oaks is not playing somebody, that means the other team is running. Now, I just want to say this. I got a lot of respect for Kevin Boyle. He do a great job. Program is great. But it's a reason that we 45 minutes away. And we've been nationally ranked 8 out of 9 years. And our high school team has never played their high school team.
So you trying to say he ducking?
I'm just gonna give you the facts. We 40 minutes away. They fly teams from all the way around to get ready to play. We 40 minutes away. We'd have been nationally ranked 8 out of the last 9 years. Now I'm gonna say this. We used to play Mount Verb's prep school team. So this was the thing. Back, RJ Barrett, I think, was a freshman. So what they would have their prep school team.
I remember they team, yeah.
And then they would take some of the young stars and put them on their actual prep school team. So now you had RJ Barrett, you had Simi, who was like top 10 in the country. Then you had the prep school players. And then they would play against West Oaks high school team. Each year we would split. We went to Mount Verb, they beat us. All right. We came to West Oaks. The one time they came to West Oaks, we beat them so bad, Kevin Boyle Jr. kicked over the chip. We beat them by like 30. Now, yes, we talked. We was like, Coach Boyle, we tired of playing the prep school team. We agreed we'll play the high school team. So now it was set. West Oaks high school team, Mount Verb high school team. I get a call from the AD about a month before. I say the AD say, hey, we're not gonna be able to play the game. I said, well, you know what? The paper gonna ask me about the game. So what do you want me to tell them? He said, nah, we just went inside another direction. I said, cool, okay. The paper, Buddy Collins, called out to Mount Verb, asked them, West Oaks, Mount Verb, I know y'all was scheduled to play. Why y'all not playing? Never gave the paper an answer. So I ain't saying who ducking, but West Oaks Academy will play anybody, anytime, anywhere. Like everybody know that. Everybody know that. Everybody know that.
Kev, this not even encouraging
everybody know that,
smoke,
man.
Kev, this not even. I'm sending the message to Kev right now. What's going on,
man?
boy?
Like, hey. You ask Coach Smith. You ask the coach at IMG. You ask. This is common knowledge. Like West Oaks plays on the grind session. The grind session of the top teams inside of the country. Now, I'm not here to say that West Oaks the best every year, but it's crazy if you got two teams inside of Central Florida that ain't to play. Now, finally, I will say this. We're not at a point that we're going to go to Mount Verb and say, hey, can you guys please come play us? Because we look at Mount Verb, man, y'all another team. Like, you know, that we not going in like basically kiss the throne. Like, nah, that's never ever. But if you ever wanna lace them up, now it's easy to hide behind. We don't got nothing to prove. We got these NBA guys. We got this. But when you get on that court, hey, you and I know what's going on. Hey. Check the record of West Oaks versus Mount Verb and get back to me. Just check the record. Check the record. Hey, if I was in their shoes, in all honesty, I wouldn't take the risk of playing that game.
All right, man. We had some
much
time.
love, but much love to them, man. Coach Ray Miller is like a brother to me, man. His son did great things, man. Kevin Boyle, the things I will say this, man, on the fact that Coach Boyle can get those guys to play at that level. And in Florida, there's no NIL. So when you got guys that's playing for Mount Verb and with no NIL, then the highest praise to him. They do it every single year. I mean, they're a great program. He's a great coach. I think he can go into any college program, any NBA program, and get things done. What they have done has been unprecedented, man. So they're definitely the golden standard, man. So, you know, I'm a competitive guy. I think what we'll do, but you got to go ahead and give them their props, though, man. What Coach Boyle has done, what Coach Sutton did before he came there, the program has got better every year, and they're for sure the gold standard inside of high school basketball.
Indeed. Now, next up, like I said, you guys have always been entrepreneurs getting it done in all phases. Talk to me about the Gillion Basketball Academy, man.
Hey, man, you know what? Man, since we was young, man, we always been training to kind of do basketball, man. I got to Tallahassee, and my basketball mentor was Barry Taylor. And I would spend about 2 or 3 hours just going into the gym with him in Tallahassee. And he just changed the way I look at the game. You know, he would be like, this how you score, this how you pass, this is a training that you got to do. And with team breakdown, that's something that we always been very big about. Individual improvement, guys just getting better. So once my brother Darren got up to Didi for short, once he got up to the DMV, you know, he was still doing the training, but he was like, man, we got to go ahead and start training these kids in terms of getting them better at basketball players, having them watch film, getting them to have better IQ, having life skill stuff that go on, just making them be a better individual. So, you know, my dad passed away probably about 1.5 years ago, man. My dad always education was big. So he said, man, you got to get at a point where you make a difference, where you're teaching. And we thought this was the best way to do it, man. Gillion Basketball Academy, we can bring you in, teach you basketball. We can go ahead and teach you about life. And we was like, we wanted to do our own thing, man. So we went in, we reconstructed a whole building. You know, it was our whole design that we came in and did it. You know, we ended up partnering with a great guy, man, by the name of Phil. And you know, it just took off from there. And so it's really blowing up. Like, I mean, it's big. We don't have no intentions on slowing down, man. You know, the young people need something that they can do, man. They really do. Once a young person finds something that they're passionate about, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, law, you know, medical field, you know, they find a way that they can reach their goal, and that somebody else is passionate about it. That just makes better men and better young women. So the Gillion Basketball Academy is all about that, man. Just helping other young people reach their goal.
All right, man. Let's talk about put you on the hot seat a little bit, man.
Never a hot seat, man. I'm never on the hot seat.
Give me your team breakdown, all-time starting five.
Oh, the seat got hot. Oh, man. Oh, man. Seat got hot, man. See, what you want in terms of who I would have to win, or who the best players?
Yep, all-time starting five, however you want to do it, bro.
Starting five, man. You know what? You got to start off with the dog, man, and get ready to lead it. You got to start off. Kenny Boynton's in there.
Okay.
So, Kenny Boynton got to be there. Oh, hey, man. Brandon Knight, two-time National Player of the Year, 2 national championships. You know, was ranked number 1 inside his class. So it's KB and Brandon definitely in there. Gotta put Anthony Simons inside of there, man. Anthony Simons played all 4 years. Every year that he played, his team was nationally ranked. Led Under Armour in scoring 2 years. You know, pro doing it right now. So, man, that leave me with 3 spots.
Two spots. 2 spots.
2 spots. I gotta go with the young boy at the forward, Matt Bewley, man. Matt Bewley was one of the twins signed with overtime for $1 million, unprecedented after his sophomore year. Ended up making the big time all-tournament team when he was just an 8th grader, 17 and under, when it was loaded. That last spot. Gotta go Eddie Lloyd, man. Gotta go Eddie Lloyd Vargas, man. The 6'11" guy.
Wow.
Top
No
10,
Rios?
Top 10.
After the Vegas run, no Rios?
But this is what I would have to say. Kenny Boynton, 2-time national champ. Killed. Brandon Knight, 2-time national champ. Was ranked number 1 inside of his class all the way throughout. And then this newer generation would probably say Anthony Simons was ranked above Kitty and Brandon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hey, Anthony Simons. So now you can't have 5 guards. You gotta go at Matt Bewley. I'm gonna say this again. They gave Matt Bewley $1 million. I'm gonna say this again. I don't think we understanding this. Matt and Ryan, sophomore year, May of their sophomore year. How dominant was Matt Bewley? $1 million.
Wow.
Like $1 million. 8th grade, big time, all tournament team. It wasn't a weak year. Jalen Green was there that year. Josh Christopher was there that year. The big man, he was all tournament team, 8th grade, dominated. And then you got to go with another big, Aloy Vargas. He was top 10, man. Top 10 inside of his career. Also got 2 national championships, man. You know, like so those guys, man. You know, when you start getting out to that 5, you gotta have the numbers, you gotta have the wins.
Okay.
Eddie definitely had the wins, man. But you know, one of my favorite. Now, if you ask me about one of my favorite, that's a different story. But it's hard to knock those guys' accomplishments, man. You know, those guys, all of those guys inside of their career was top 10. Like basically throughout it. Eloy was probably the lowest at 10. Because Anthony Simons got up to number 7 by every time everything was done. And he was straight from high school to the NBA. Hey, come on now. The last one to really do it like that and get things done. Who was it? Who was the last one? Was it Sebastian? Or did somebody else do it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who went straight. What class was the last one? I don't know which class.
I think their class was the last class in 2004. I think that was the last.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So Anthony did a year of prep school, still 18, man. This man, you know how good you got to be to go from high school to the NBA at 6'3", 182. You ain't big. You gotta be balling.
You gotta be all right.
And you tell me you ain't gonna make the AAU. If you ain't making the AAU team starting 5 and you went from high school to the league, who they got?
I got one for you. Hold up. That brings me to my next one. The seat gets hotter. Who's the best player you ever coached?
You know what? At the time, Kenny was the best producer. You know, Kenny was the best producer. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just because you're the best producer, that don't necessarily mean that you are the best player. I think the person that had everything that you kind of needed for that guard position, it's hard to argue Anthony Simons, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anthony had everything that you needed at the guard position. Kenny was a better producer, though. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going from production standpoint, you got to go from Kenny. But when you bring in the production, the skill level, and you know, Anthony won too. He didn't win as much as Kenny did, but he just had everything that you had. I mean, that's the reason right now, again, 24 years old, averaging 23 points a game in the NBA.
All right.
Hey, that's when you 24 years old, you jump straight from high school and you're in the National Basketball Association, averaging 23 points a game. Now, also in that top 5, we got to remember now, Kai Jones wasn't in that top 5. Now, Kai Jones was a Texas. He was a first rounder, you know. So
I saw him on that thing with what's LeBron agent joint.
Right.
Man. Rich Paul. I saw him on that documentary they had that show.
So we started talking about guys that didn't make that top 5. So you remember Eddie, but the one Hugh gonna be at my head, be like, Coach, I was a McDonald's All-American. I played for the Toronto Raptors when they won the championship. Kai Jones gonna be like, I was a first rounder. Justin James gonna be like, Coach, what you talking about? I played in the league. Jermaine Taylor gonna be like, I played in the league. Xavier Dowdell gonna be like, I played. So hey, there's a lot of guys gonna be like, Coach, you tripping.
Now, you told me y'all been in Florida since y'all been watching games and watching stuff since '99, right?
Right.
Give me Florida Mount Rushmore.
Ah. Ah. Mm. Man. Oh, but that one is. Well, since I've been watching, man,
Yeah, you got to go by what you see. You got to go by what you see.
Got to put Amari there, man. Like Amari was devil. Amari dominated, man. It wasn't close. Amari was the big man that you'd be like, if I was big, this how I would play. I'd dunk everything. Amari did that. Got to put Scotty Barnes in there, man. MVP of the City of Palms when he was just a sophomore. He was a part of that Mount Verde team that won. That was the best high school team that they say can lock down anybody. So Scotty Barnes got to go in there. Oh man, hey, it's getting interesting now, man. It's getting interesting. See, now I'm stuck between what you did in high school, what you did in college.
No, just high school, just amateur.
Oh, just what you did in high school.
AAU, yeah.
Oh, okay. Kenny Boyne got to be in there then. He going just high school and AAU. Got to put Kenny in that high school AAU now. Got to put high school and AAU. Got to put Dwayne Bacon in the high school AAU. Went to Kill with Showtime Ballers. Went to Oak Hill Academy. Averaged 26 points a game at Oak Hill.
So Dwayne Bacon played for your wife?
Dwayne Bacon played for my wife. Showtime Ballers with Corey Sanders.
He was nice in Florida State.
Years. Man, nice. He was the down version of him at Florida State. So you imagine what he was doing now. Hey. What is that? That's 3. So I got Kenny, I got Dwayne Bacon, I got Scotty Barnes.
And you said Stoudemire.
I got Stoudemire.
That's 4. That's 4.
Man. I want to go with Austin, but Brandon. I got to go with Brandon, man. Brandon won 2 AAU national championships. He was a 2-time National High School Player of the Year. Won the state championship at Pinecrest 3 years in a row. When they went head-to-head now, Austin Rivers' team did beat him, but Brandon still finished with 40. But, I mean, Brandon's high school
I want to watch that game. I'm going to try to find that on YouTube.
Man, Brandon's high school career was like
crazy.
You can't beat that. So that it'll be, man. You got Brandon Knight, you got Kenny Boynton, you got Dwayne Bacon, you got Amari, and you got Scotty Barnes.
All right, now let's go to we almost at the finish line. Let's talk about some current topics going on. First up, the transfer portal, man. What you think about it, man?
Hey, man, I'm a fan of the transfer portal. This is the reason why I'm a fan of the transfer portal. Before the transfer portal actually started, we would always tell players, man, when you get to college, you got to stay on your grind, Why do we say that? We always say that because we be like, scholarships are not guaranteed for 4 years. I do not have to renew your scholarship as a coach. So each year, we got to come and sit at the table. You know how you have them exit interviews at the end of the year, So if that's the case, if scholarships are not for 4 years, they're only for 1 year, why shouldn't the player at the end of the year be able to reevaluate what he feel about your school? Before all the other years, you've been able to reevaluate him. Because you can always tell him, hey, I'm not renewing your scholarship. When nobody saying nothing about that, when the coach had the power to tell the kid. So now the kid can be able to say, hey, I'm not coming. Then the last thing, man, the college coaches, they leave out. I mean, people, if you look at it this year, I want to say about 11% of players transferred. The crazy number is about 17% of college coaches transferred. So while we talking about like the player stuff is crazy, the college stuff is crazy. You gonna look me in the eye and tell me that you're gonna be here, and then you may not go, you may not be here because you're doing what's best for your family. man, you got to do what's best for your family. I'm never going to tell another man not to do what's best for his family. Likewise, these college players are grown men. You can't tell them not to do something that's best for their family. So, you know, I feel we're in the United States of America, man. It's a free enterprise, man. You know, that's just how it is. You got a freedom of choice. It is what it is.
Now, when you got a kids that do, because I talked to a coach today and he told me how, an AU director, and he told me how this situation got him a little stressed because it's like extending his job, because not only did he help these kids get into college, but now he got mad kids in the portal that he got to deal with trying to find them a new home. Do you go through the same kind of thing?
Well, my kids, man, I kind of tell my kids from the beginning, man, I'll tell them the pros and cons of whatever school that they at from my standpoint. But I always tell them this, man, you're a grown man. You got to make grown man decisions. With that being said, I can give you advice. I can give you what I think. But at this point, man, you got to be able to say what is best for you, the individual, what is best for you. I'm not even saying what's best for mom and dad. What's best for mom and dad may not be best for you, the individual. Because at the end of the day, if you're happy, you're going to play well. If you're playing well, mom and dad's going to be happy. So you got to get on your grown man stuff. It's not my job to deal with what's at the portal. That's your job to deal with at the portal. It's your job to be able to look coaches straight inside of the eye and be able to tell them what you like, what you don't like. Only time I step in, if you're doing some injustice to my guy, and he's talking to you, but he don't have the power to kind of deal with you. So now I may come in and be like, listen, man, what you doing to a kid, and not a kid, I don't even call them kids, what you doing to one of my guys, you know, I don't feel blah, 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 blah. We may end up having a conversation about it. But I'll let my young men do what they got to do, man. You grown, you're an adult. You know, we gotta take that label off and stop calling them kids, man. They're not kids. You're an adult, man. You got to get in there and you got to make adult decisions. I can give you advice, but at the end of the day, these are decisions you got to make.
All right. Next up, NIL.
Great. Reason why it's great, man, it's like, you know, the age-old thing. The NCAA been making so much money off these young men, young women for a long time. It's only fair to give these young men and young women a share of the pie. And the crazy thing, you ain't even giving them a big share of the pie. You know what I'm saying? When people start talking about NIL, they be making it seem like they're getting. That's not even the NCAA money that you.
That's what I was about to say. The money ain't coming out their pocket.
It's not even their money. So like, that's America. If you're able to generate money and people are willing to pay you for what they think that you can generate, what's the problem? What is the problem? The NCAA should be happy because it's keeping guys in school, especially in women's basketball. Shoot, if I got a chance to make $500,000 in college, why would I go to the WNBA? If I got a chance to go ahead and get $1 million inside of the NCAA, I'm not necessarily in a rush to go ahead and get to college, man. So I think it's great. It's not like you're giving them this money just to give it to them. These kids are generating publicity. They're generating advertisement. I said kids again. These young men and young women, they're generating this stuff. So if the people got it, they're going to spend the money on something anyway.
What do you say?
If they're giving them the NIL, they have the money to do it. I think it's great.
What do you say to the coaches that's complaining about is they losing their programs and they can't build the program because every year they got to get a new team because of this stuff going on?
I mean, the same thing that you used to tell the players. Hey, man, you got to get ready to grind because this scholarship is at the end of the day. It's not for the little kids, man. You got to grind because this scholarship is not renewable, man. You're a coach. At the end of the day, that's what you got to do. You're not going to go to somebody that's a bake and say, hey, they ate up all the cookies. No, get in there and bake some more cookies. Like, dog, if you are a coach, get in there and build a program back up. That's a part of the game, man. You know, like that just comes with the territory. I mean, people can say what they want about Cal. Cal is getting different guys mostly every year. Coach K was getting pretty much different guys, all the time, especially when that one and done start coming along. That's just what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It make you go ahead and really get on your grind as a coach. It's not how it used to be. I got you here, and you better deal with it. Because if you want to get rid of the transfer, you got to sit out of here. Nah, you can't look that player in the eye and say that no more. You got to have a real man-to-man conversation with him. You can't lie to that dude as easy anymore because he evaluated what you do every year. You said I was going to play this style. He'd kept a notebook. At the end of the year, hey, coach, you said 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to put my name in the portal and see. They come with it, man. If you a dude that coach and you know what you're doing, it is what it is. It's a part of the game. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, these kids, with a young man definitely getting money, and that's a big problem for athletes. A big problem. We all have seen it. Being in college, not having enough resources to focus on the things you need to focus on. Now they're able to get the money and the schools don't got to pay for it. What's the problem?
Indeed. All right. One of the last ones. A couple of years ago, this went down, and I want to know your thoughts about it. The FBI investigation into college b-ball. What's your thoughts about that whole situation, man?
I thought that was ridiculous, man. I thought it was ridiculous. And this is the reason why I thought it was ridiculous. I absolutely hate, and I'm not saying I dislike, I hate the negative connotations that's associated with AAU basketball. And a lot of times it's almost, I bring it up, the racial divide. You'll hear words like handler, you'll hear words like middleman, and basically those are words for when college coaches and NBA guys have to deal with one of those players' mentors. And when you got to deal with their mentors, you can't go to them with no BS. You can't go to them because that mentor, he may not be school. He probably haven't went to school for a long time, but one thing he know about life. So he care about that young man that you're going to get just to try to play basketball. So I think this whole thing being built is that those mentors are now bad guys. Those guys are middlemen. Those are handlers. And what do we got to do? Those handlers are making all types of money in AAU. And if you ask most AAU coaches, they're going to be like, I lose money in AAU. I'm not making any money. This is a bill. Like, this is crazy. But you got to paint this picture that these bad guys, they got all of this influence, is making this money. And we got to eliminate them out of the game to clean up the game. And they went out and tried to do this big witch hunt. And at the end of the day, what did they come up with? Okay, you basically said that guys are using their power to persuade people to go to different agents. Like, that's what we came up with. Like, that's the crime. Like, think about it now. Think about it. The FBI was digging deep. Okay, some guys got paid money to go to a school. I'm saying that's against the rules. But when the FBI came and the bloody glove was, man, he was pushing him towards this agent. This guy got paid to go to this school. And right now we got NIL. The money that got pushed to go to the school, that wasn't nearly as much as the NIL. And then this stuff is going on with certain schools. Look at the certain people that was hit. That people that can't do it anymore. Let's look at them. How do they look?
100%.
This is just being real. Like, how do they look? And look at the play. Now, majority of these people was assistant coaches. Now, we all know how the game go. Come on now.
Ain't nothing going on without the head coach knowing.
Come on now. If you didn't know, you had a lack of institutional control. But it's crazy that these guys are in situations where they helped out young men. They helped them out. Those young men that you say that was treated so bad, those young men, they probably still reach out to these people for advice. You had them out. Lamont Evans out.
I know.
Can't book out.
I
He
know.
can't. But what are they doing? They still helping out young men. But you have their bosses that's still working, that's coming up like it never happened, man. I
remember. I
thought it
remember
was
out
nonsense.
in Louisville. What they said it was like 20 something parties in the dorm house and stripping parties and they said he ain't know about none of them out 20 something joints
and again, man, like with these coaches and stuff, I'm not saying that they're bad guys. I'm not saying that. The people who I'm saying is like these negative connotations that was put on AAU basketball to make it seem like it was a monster forced the FBI to go research BS. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't like, where people getting killed. Like, everybody who they labeled as a victim would have been like, I'm the victim? I thought I was good. What are we talking about here? Okay, if you say I was the victim so I don't go to jail, I'll just say I'm the victim. But these people weren't no victims. They'll be like, man, I owe him a lot for giving me the advice. So I mean, that's just what I think about it, man. I'm not a person for breaking the rules. I do believe once there's rules and guidelines in place, you 100% got to follow them. And if you follow them, I believe that you should get a consequence, but I don't think your consequence should be the death penalty. I don't think your consequence should have been jail time. I don't think that. I thought that what they did was like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of thought that too. And at first, when this dude came out with this poster, I thought it was about to be in the college basketball. I said, yo, everything coming out now. So they did a good thing of gassing it in the beginning, yo. Because when he came out with this, I was like, yo, this joint about to get crazy. But it wasn't. I saw the scheme, and then that joint broke it down, and I was like, wow, man, that's crazy how they did that to that dude.
Man, and again, I just hate how one person can be a mentor to somebody else, but he can be labeled as a handler to somebody else. And I just think those negative connotations that come, even today, everything is blamed on AAU basketball. Well, they get their bad habits in AAU basketball. Huh? What?
All the time.
And AAU basketball is all about the money. Huh? Like, what people y'all know? It's such a dark market inside of AAU basketball. Man. Like, y'all stop this, man. Stop.
All right, man. It's been a joy having y'all. Always ask this question, everybody, before they couple questions I ask before they go off, man. One is, how do you want Kenny Gillion to be remembered, bro?
Definitely want to be remembered as somebody, man, that always was honest with somebody and made a difference. Really made a difference. That
you did, brother.
And that's how I always wanted to, go ahead and be able to say that, he definitely made a difference, in the terms, because I've been blessed, man. God has really blessed me. This is 100% all God, for me. God has blessed me with a lot of things. He's been there for me. So whenever I get a chance just to open the door, for somebody else, to help somebody else out with something, just want to be able to make a difference. That's my big thing. Never been into the money, never been into the fame, never been into any of that. But, people would be like, hey, you made a difference, that you helped me out. You made it easier for me. That's just what it wanted to all be about.
And the final question, give me something that you think, that you feel God pulled you through so you could be an inspiration for other people.
I think just being able to be here and still keep doing it, man. Like when I first started the business, man, my son was just born. Like I remember I left out of the hospital. My son was born on I believe a Friday, and I had to leave out on a Saturday to go ahead and get on the road, scout, so I can go ahead and get some money just to be able to take care of him. And I think at that time, you're a college student, don't really have a job, and my dad has always did a good job of taking care of the family. I was really worried, like, man, like what's going to really be able to go on. So you have those tough times, man, when the money's not coming through what the way that you wanted to come through. So you have those worries. Are you going to really be able to be a good father? And I think God just blessed me, man, just to be able to have a business going on this long, to be able to take care of the family and keep me doing, what I want to do for my entire life. And I always wanted to be a part of basketball. In those early times, I just didn't know if it was going to be enough financially for me to be able to do it, and just looking back on that time, God just helped me out,
Indeed, brother. Man, so Ken, I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to give you your flowers now, bro. What you did, man, and what your family did for those kids down in Florida, man, and from kids from all over the country, man, and giving them that exposure, man, the training, the schools you at now, you and your wife coming together, man. All this has been a blessing, bro, and you did the job here, brother. You know what I mean?
Man,
I know the
I
Most High
appreciate it.
looking down proud of you, brother. For real, man.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, I'll be up in New York this weekend. My brother, associate head coach at Long Island with Coach
A word?
Rod
All
Strickland.
praises, bro. All praises, man.
So I'll be up in the Big Apple, man. Be up there, man. So I'll be up there a lot more, man. But I thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it very much, very dear. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, man. Tell your wife I said what's up, man, and enjoy the rest of your evening, brother.
All right, same to you, Chief.
All right. Wow, legend in the building, man. It was good going down memory lane with Kenny, man. We was on there for a deuce, 2 hours. I did not think that, man. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, man. It was a good show. Tune in next week when we have another guest on In the Spotlight podcast, and we'll let you guys know who that shall be soon. This is Mike signing off. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.